Come on in, come on in, come on into the den. This is the 59th parlor. I am your host, Tony Ray. I am so excited. We are on episode 2. So if you are coming back and you've watched episode 1 and you're returning, thank you so much. If this is your very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's go ahead and jump into it. It is almost 2024. It is almost 2024, and everybody is, of course, working up those New Year's resolutions. Honestly, I hate New Year's resolutions, if I'm being totally honest. I just despise New Year's resolutions because I feel like they don't work. We put all this pressure on ourselves to start January 1 and you gotta stay committed. And sometimes it's like, I don't know, it's thinking about starting on the first of something I don't know, in my mind it just puts too much pressure. And so for me, I like starting just whenever. If I'm having something on my spirit that day, I want to start the next day. So this video, you guys, is all about setting those soft life routines in place for 2024 and beyond. So if you are anything like moi, honey, we are on the soft life train 100%. And this is not a trend thing. Like, you guys know, I feel like the whole soft life thing kind of came into play around 2020. At least that's when I first heard about it. And to be honest, I feel like it was a coping mechanism that people used in order to get through COVID. Nobody knew what was going on. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end. We're never going to be let out the house. We're going to be caged like animals. So it forced people to really stop and look at their lives, look at what they had to be appreciative of. It forced us to really just slow down and say, okay, this is what I have. I might not have this, I might not have that, but this is what I have. And it almost is like it kind of was that like jump start or that restart to having gratitude and feeling gratitude in your heart. So when I think about the soft life, I'm thinking about it from that perspective because I have told y'all, I was definitely one of the girls. I was one of the girls who felt like I was behind. I would get on social media and I'm like, okay, I'm not flourishing like so and so. My account hasn't grown like so and so's. So I'm behind. I didn't get a college degree when everybody else was in school and doing the college girl thing. I was doing the college girl thing and I partied a little bit too hard. And if anybody is watching me from SIUE, that is why you didn't see me that second year, because I flunked out of school. So you guys, there was a lot that I was, dealing with in my mind as far as how I viewed myself. Oh, you're behind. Oh, it's too late for you. Like, and I told you guys on the last episode, I'm 32. So in my mind, I'm telling myself all of this at like 28, 29, like, oh girl, you late. You way past late. And really and truly, I was right on time, baby. I was right on time for this moment right here, sitting on this podcast and talking to you guys about the soft life. But anyway, that is kind of something I dealt with for the longest, was just feeling like I was behind. So now that I'm embodying this soft life era, it's more about me showing up as the woman I want to be, reaching my goals as far as my career and figuring out the path that I'm supposed to be on. When I think about the soft life, I'm thinking about just being an overall softer feminine woman. And let me tell you guys this right now, I'm a little nasally today. So if I sound a little congested, I am because I think I have like some allergens or something floating around this house, baby. I've been hat chewing all day. But anyway, that is besides the point. And let me look at my notes, y'all, because y'all know I will run off on a tangent. But anyway, like I said, as far as the soft life era, that I dealt with a lot of that inner negative self-talk. Like I talked about on the first episode, I had to really learn how to change the way I spoke to myself. And honestly, like I said, social media was a big driving force behind that. So how do I pull myself away from that hustle culture of social media? Or how do I pull myself away from the facade that is taking place? Because honestly, we all know what you see and what you get on social media are two totally different things. So if you struggle Like, and I'll admit it. I know a lot of people might feel ashamed of admitting that, but I'll admit it. I was one who would get on there and just feel so left behind. But how do we pull ourselves away, and how do we wake ourselves up to the reality that, baby, what you're seeing is not all the way what you're getting? How do I pull away from that? I pulled away from that. Now he knows babe, I'm in the middle of filming a podcast. You know I can't erase this, right? I tell him, I tell my husband all the time, look, I'm about to start filming. Don't call me. And he calls anyway. Oh, yeah. But no, what I was just saying was, how do we pull ourselves away from that mindset? I pulled myself away out of that hustle culture mindset with the soft life. So I know a lot of us can get on, like, let's say, for instance, TikTok, and any search engine type based platform. But let's just use TikTok for the example. You can get on TikTok right now. And if you have it, I want you to do this exercise right now. You can open up your app, go to your search bar, and you're going to see the soft life, right? You can type in the soft life. You're going to see all of these different variations of what the soft life is. Well, we don't want to just look at the variations. We want to figure out, how can we build an actionable plan that is going to actually allow us to embody this soft life, embody the soft life routine, actually transform our day-to-day routine into this soft life routine. And how do we do that and stay on track for 2024? So the one thing that I want to point out first is, we have to remember, we are human beings. That means that as human beings, we process visual images far, far, far faster than any type of written word or any other information. We are visually driven. That is why we get to scrolling on social media for long periods of at a time, because we are visually drawn. If you see a video that pops up and it's got all these words and colors and sounds and stuff, it automatically makes you lock in. So naturally, we see these things and we automatically think, oh, well, I can do that because I saw it. I can do it. It's not about you just seeing the video and thinking that's what the soft life is. It is deeper than that. And that's the point that I want to drive into, is figuring out how you can take what you see, make a plan for it, make it personal to you. That way you can implement it in your life and actually do the changes, or become the changes that you're wanting to become over time. So my first thing that I want to touch on, in order for us to master the soft life routine, we have to master the smaller daily habits. And the biggest thing that we want to do first and foremost, like I said, after you watch that video and you're like, oh, I'm inspired to live the soft life, you have to come up with your own definition. Nothing that I do now is without definition. And what I mean by that is, I have to make this personal. I can't just see what somebody else is doing and think, oh, that's going to be everything that I need to, start. No, I have to make it personal, because here's the thing. When we have an emotional attachment to something, and let me be clear, you guys, I'm no doctor, I'm no therapist, I'm not certified in any way. This is just me coming from life experience, okay? But I just feel like when you have an emotional connection to something that it is that you're trying to do or accomplish, it makes you that much more, like, I don't know, overall, again, just connected to it. That emotional trigger makes you connected to it. It makes you want to succeed in it, because it's emotionally triggering you some kind of way, in a positive way, not a negative. Let's be clear. Something is positively giving you those triggers, and it's making you feel connected to it and making you want to do it. So when we're talking about making a definition, like I said, this needs to be personal. What benefits are you going to gain from doing this? So you see that video again, you see that soft life video, and you're intrigued. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to live the soft life. What are you going to gain from it? Because living a softer life, that is an actual this is a pretty drastic lifestyle change, to be honest. It's not just about the style and showing up in your more chic, classy girl era. It's more than that. What am I actually going to gain from living the softer life? How is that going to benefit me? Is that going to change the trajectory of what my life looks like? And how is it going to change that? So, when I say make a personal definition of what that life would mean to you, that's what I'm talking about. Go deeper into it so that you can really begin to think about how that lifestyle is going to benefit you, or how is it going to change you for the better. Because honestly, if you can't give key examples of how something is going to benefit you and how it's going to change you, then really and truly, there's no reason for you to do it. Again, you want to make that emotional connection. So after you make your definition, you want to come up with what is the driving force behind me doing it. So we have our definition. We're thinking about, okay, how's this life going to benefit me? It's going to change the trajectory. It's going to help me. But what is going to drive you during that time to actually implement those daily routines, to have that soft girl life for 2024? What is going to be that driving force that makes you want to do it? So when I'm thinking about the driving force, so think about when you watch that video. Initially, what about that video, that soft life inspired video? What about it? And like, what about it triggered you? Was it the calmness of that lifestyle? Was it the peacefulness of that lifestyle? Was it the lifestyle itself, like the different daintier, softer, feminine things? And, when we're thinking about our driving force, it has to be deeper than just money, right? Because one thing that I'm guilty of, previously, was I would look at some of those videos and be like, oh my gosh, like the softer vibes, the more upscale clothes, like, ooh, I can buy this, I can buy that. I'm thinking all about money wise and how I can create looks in my head. But it's deeper than just the clothes that I put on. I have to embody this woman first. I have to become her internally before any of those clothes will even make a difference. So I'm saying you want to think about your driving forces on a much deeper level. What is intriguing you of it? Is it the romanticizing aspect? Now that's a big trend that was also out there, was the romanticizing my life and really just slowing down, being extra intentional about every single little thing. Like, is it that? So again, you want to think about, what are those driving forces? Once you have your definition and once you have your driving force, those are the key things that you want to put into place that's actually going to help you master the daily routines and master changing your life. So again, here's the thing. I keep saying filler words. I'm taking a mental note of that. Because I keep saying, you know what I mean, and like this and like that. Look, we working out the kinks, y'all. Okay, we working out the kinks. But anyway, like I said, and that's another one too. But your definition and your driving forces, those are the things that I was talking about as far as making that emotional connection. You want to feel emotionally connected to those driving forces, because it's going to encourage you that much more in order to make those daily routine changes. Like, if y'all noticed, we haven't even gotten to the actual routine part. We haven't gotten to the part of actually implementing the daily, everyday things. All we've done at this point is figure out what is our backstory behind it. Like, I used to want to be an actress, okay? So I did a lot of study on monologues and building characters and stuff like that. And one of the biggest things when you're building character is you have to give a backstory. You can't bring that character to life until you have a backstory to tell why is that character feeling the way that they feel. Kind of use that thought process when you are thinking about your definition and your driving forces. It's that emotional attachment. It's the emotional backstory that's going to fuel you or drive you in the process to change those everyday daily routines. So I'm going to give you guys this. We want to start with small we want to start with small, extremely achievable action plans. Okay. So before we just go inside of our life and change up all of these routines that we don't know if we're going to be able to stick to, because let's be honest, when we don't have those driving forces in that definition of our backstory, we can start changing routines, but 9 times out of 10, we start falling off, right? So I started sitting and thinking about this. Like, I want to make extremely achievable action plans, because when you know that you have control over something and you can achieve it, it will help that much more for you to stay on track, begin to change those routines and habits, and that's going to give you a longer um a more successful road as far as actually changing those routines and changing your overall lifestyle. So something I jotted down was, something you can control is what you eat on the day to day. You can't actually control losing 10 pounds. We can't control that. But what we can control is what we're eating on the day to day. That way, over time, your overall goal of losing 10 pounds, it will happen. So that's what I mean when I say extremely achievable action plans, because once you can place something into action and you have control over it, you're again likely to stay on a consistent course because you're automatically seeing wins. If you have control over something and you're doing it, you're going to see those wins. So it's kind of almost like we're tricking our mind, but at the same time, we're doing exactly what we need to do to stay on track and actually change the routines. So again, something that you can control in your soft life or soft girl era lifestyle is, a lot of us are, I feel like if you have entered that soft girl lifestyle or the soft life, then you're simultaneously entering your healthy girl era too. I don't know. I just feel like they go hand in hand. At least for me, that's what's happening. Yeah, I had the scare of my life yesterday, but you know what? I can't even tell that story because then I would literally be sitting here for an hour. Just, we would be chatting for real. But anyway, again, entering your soft girl era, simultaneously you kind of enter your healthy girl era. So what is the biggest thing that we want to do in healthy girl era? We want to drink more water. Something that you control that can be an extremely achievable action plan is drinking more water, whether that be a half gallon or a whole gallon. Drinking the water is something that you can control. So if you say, okay, I'm going to drink, even if you start with 32 ounces, baby, whatever you got to do to start, do that. And here's the thing, don't give yourself goals that you just can't do. Okay. I'm a water drinker. I'm like a fish walking with legs. A fish walking with legs. Lord have mercy. But that's how I could drink water all day long and never get sick of it. I've always been like that. I drink water. So for me, I already drink about 64 ounces of water a day. If I want to increase that to a gallon, I'm going to be like, okay, Tony, you're going to go ahead and you're going to implement a gallon of water a day. That's something that I can control. Another thing that a lot of us like to do when we are, especially in this season, you're starting to isolate yourself. You're starting to really think about what it is that you desire in your life. You might stop getting on social media or getting on your phone at all, for that matter, first thing in the morning. For me, that is something that I have heavily implemented. My time, baby, with the Father God, okay? With the Father, that is my priority in the morning. When I get up in the morning, I have devotional time. Devotional time might be 30 minutes. It might be for an hour. I ain't even gonna lie. I think this morning it was about almost 2 hours. And I was a little late clocking in for work, but y'all don't tell on me, okay? Don't tell on me. But anyway, I make a priority that when I get up in the morning, baby, that is my time to give. Now, why them kids screaming like that? Yeah, my kids are in a bag. Sorry. But anyway, that is my time to give devotion to the God Almighty, okay? That is my time to give my devotional time to pray, to, just set affirmations over my day, speak positivity over my day. That is my time. I don't touch my phone until way later in the morning. I get up at 5:30. I don't touch my phone till about 8 o'clock. So those are even smaller things that you can do to just, again, change the morning routine. I mean, not, excuse me, making those extremely actionable, what, achievable, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm getting jumbled up, extremely achievable actions that you can do in the morning. A couple other ones that I put down was doing your silk press weekly, y'all. Something that I have struggled with, not struggled with, I just been super lazy, is my hair. But in this softer, classier girl era, we want to always look put together. And honey, if you don't know how to do your silk press, you can go right on over to my other channel. I got a whole video for you to learn how to do a silk press at home. Okay. But I'm just saying, the point I'm making is, if one of your routines that you want to do in your soft girl era for 2024 is to always look presentable, then you need to make an action plan to actually teach yourself how to do it, or to stay on track as a regular routine to always look put together. And also walking daily. That's something that is so simple, but even just taking a daily walk can be super beneficial, not only just for your health wise, but also just for mental clarity. Again, just removing yourself off of apps and off of your phone completely, detoxing from the phone, and just allowing yourself to be able to breathe and do some deep breathing, and just being in nature and just feeling that alignment again. So, like I said, the best thing about the definition and getting your driving forces is you get to create these extremely achievable actions that you can do in your routine, the ones that you can actually control. That way, it gives you that head start, because since you can control it, you can for a fact achieve it. And then over time, again, those habits and routines will begin to change. So I feel like this is going to be your best approach, or your best roadmap to successfully change your life, change those routines, and become that soft life version in 2024. So I've pretty much given you guys all of my actions and what I intend to do. Y'all see my little diagram okay, you can't see that just didn't even make no sense. There's too much light. But for my definitions, again, I've pretty much given you guys exactly what I wrote down. Like, everything that I talked about today was pretty much how I defined my soft life era. My definition: the soft life will teach me to be a more feminine woman. You guys know I started this whole entire podcast because I was just such in this headspace of, I am going to learn to become a softer, more feminine woman. This lifestyle will place me in alignment for what I want and teach me better habits over time. That was my definition. My driving force: a woman who is sure of herself and grateful for where she is and where she is going. Okay. And just overall learning to be my best self. That's my driving force. My driving force is that I want to be a woman who is absolutely sure of herself 100% of the time. I want to be a woman who knows how to just command that space, and not in a cocky way, but just because of my confidence in the way that I carry myself, the way that my shoulders are back, the way that my head is held high. That's my driving force, because I know that that is the woman that I am developing into. And then my actionable actions that I can do every day: I want to read more. I want to, exercise my mind by reading and just learning more, and not feeling like it's a job, but actually enjoying it. And by doing that, you have to find books that actually interest you. So I began to find books that interested me. Doing more self-care. So learning how to do even more self-care. So I thought that I was I thought that I was a self-care queen. Honey, I might have been a self-care peasant or something. But I definitely was not a self-care queen. But in this season, I definitely want to be that self-care queen. I want to just scream and just exude self-care all the time. I want to do the gouache stuff. I want to, work on facial massages. I want to go get skincare, mask treatments and stuff. I want to get lymphatic drainage and body massages, like just all of the things that I can do to better take care of myself and just, again, feel like that more softer feminine woman. I want to go walking more, and I want to meditate more. So again, like I said, I have my devotional time and I pray, but I feel like even just adding in meditation, that will bring me in much more alignment and give me just that extra peace within myself and that confidence within myself, knowing that I have all of the outside noise blocked and that I am just focusing on myself. So that is how we master the soft life in 2024. That is exactly how we are going to master the soft life routine for 2024 and beyond, and actually just really and truly become that person, embody that lifestyle, and just, I mean, when people see you from here on out, they're going to be like, oh, she is not to be played with. She enjoys her time. She enjoys being in solitude. Like, that is kind of that stage that I'm getting into. And so, again, that is how we're going to master it. You're going to come up with your definition. You're going to come up with your driving forces. And then you are going to create those extremely achievable actions that you have control over so that you can find success in this routine shift that you are about to do. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you're thinking. Again, if you want to submit any questions or you have topics that you would like to, possibly be featured on here for me to do, definitely email me at let's chat at the 59th parlor. I will put that on the screen and it will also be down in the description box. But again, baby, we are transforming. We are building that soft life. We're going to embody her. We are going to become her 100%. That is what it is all about. So again, thank you so God. Look, I'm getting tongue tied, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in on today's episode. Make sure that you're all caught up on the other episodes, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until next time, love.